thousands of images of child porn on John Campbell's home computer. But that was just the beginning. Campbell reportedly used children to make his own videos.
Michael was abused by John Campbell III. According to Michael, he was being raped every day, and the images of him were being put on the computer. Michael was disclosed to us being raped.
Michael was made to perform sex on the abuser, and the abuser performed sex on him.
He had children with children performing sex acts. These children were under his care at the time.
Michael disclosed to us that he was forced to perform sexual acts with his 2-year-old sister, and that if they did not comply, they got a yardstick, and that if they were compliant, they got candy.
For police, it's shocking.
Any crime against a child, to me, is the worst type of crime there is. They're defenseless.
Michael feared for his life. Michael told us that before he was rescued, his abuser said that if anyone ever found out what he was doing, that he would go to jail, and he would make sure he went to jail for a good reason. To me, that meant that he was going to kill him.
Okay, I'm glad y'all are here, because people's eyes need to be open to what's going on here. When you first met Michael, and we're calling this child Michael, we're not using his real name, we're not showing his face, this isn't about exploiting him further, you knew that he had a very difficult past, correct?
When he came, we were told he was being rescued. We knew there was child pornography, but we had no idea the magnitude of what all that involved.
It's my understanding now that this was all being taped, videoed, still photos, to build this massive library of child pornography, correct?
That's correct.
How did this come to light?
It was discovered by the police department when Michael's biological mother made a report.
And you got the child at what age?
5.
At 5 years of age. So even at that young age, he had been subjected to rape. He had been subjected to these sex acts with his younger sister. All of this was being done. So when you actually bring him in, what were the early signs that you saw that said that there's a serious problem here?
When we would take him out to public or to relatives' house, he would just reach over and fondle the genitals of whoever was sitting there. He would sit on their lap and he would gyrate. He would just very openly talk about things. He was deathly afraid of cameras and video cameras. He would freeze up, and every time we got the camera out, so we just stopped doing it.
There was one time where he asked my wife, how come I don't get to sleep with Daddy? How come you always get to sleep with Daddy? And we had to explain, boundaries and that sort of thing, and why a husband and wife is together, and why a child has to sleep in his or her own room. So that was difficult.
So after living with Michael for 5 years, Rochelle and Travis were starting to question some of the young boy's behaviors. Their suspicions were confirmed one night when the unthinkable happened. Be right back. One of the FBI's 10 most wanted, Eric Justin Toth, is wanted for the alleged production and possession of child pornography. Toth is a former private school teacher and may advertise online as a tutor. If you have any information about this man, please call 911 immediately or contact your local FBI bureau. For more information, log on to www.fbi.gov.